It's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good NFC matchup in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers. Win or go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC Wild Card game. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll have the speedy Tyrod Taylor calling the shots, the former Virginia Tech Hokie.
His athleticism in college was never in question. In fact, many NFL scouts thought he might be better suited to play receiver, but always believed in himself, always wanted to be a quarterback, and continues to prove his worth at that position in the NFL.
They'll throw on first down with Taylor. Docks him with a grab over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 13 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a third down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They just did manage to sneak into the playoffs as a 6th seed, so it's a tough road ahead. They would need to win 3 games on the road in January, but there's 20 other teams who wouldn't mind being on that road.
You're exactly right about that. But your point about how daunting this is well taken because it all depends on their mindset now. How do you break it down so that you're not looking at this whole big road and say to yourself, we've got no shot? You break it down to this game right now, win that one, then worry about the rest of them after that.
And that's exactly right, and the staff told us that. They've been focusing with the players on don't look ahead, but that's hard to do sometimes, is it not?
It is hard to do because the ultimate goal is to do what? Is to win a Super Bowl. So you have to look ahead a little bit, but you make sure you focus on the game at hand.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 43 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. A first carry for Leonard Fournette. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. Give the tackle there to Josh Norman.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. And Gold is able to put it through. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Tyrod Taylor now gears up to lead his offense again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
On 1st down, it's Taylor. Flush to his right. And some room to work. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Taylor will throw. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. But likely not for long as they're in punt form on 4th down, ready to punt Michael Dixon. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. A dump down to McKinnon. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Detroit!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Carlos Dunlap in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Here now, Johnny Townsend. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Dorsett on the return. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And it'll be Packer football here, first down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On second down, Taylor. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
A Hall of Fame coach once said, there are no medals for trying. And that wasn't a trying effort, was it? That was a winning effort. How about that great catch?
Excellent. They know, hey, you lose this game, you get a ding or 2. You got 7 months to heal. They're going to go all out. Now Taylor on first down. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
So a decent game, still all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now a play fake here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. of the gun, it's Taylor. And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. It's complete to Fuller. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And give them a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
But that's certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Green 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this is caught at the 8. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A good pickup there, a 22.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how he, one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end could be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Back 99 Philly, here we go!
Back to throw here. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Gold now out to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Packers get set to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
On the left side, he finds Beasley. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson, and now it's 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Flag 32.
2nd and 10 now, it's Taylor. They'll go screen here to Hunt, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Ready. 319. 319.
On 3rd down, Taylor. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. $14 seconds, all that's left to this first half as they come up on 1st down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Back 99 Philly, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And this is incomplete. Ryan Switzer, the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And Reed with it over the middle. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down. Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. Some pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Detroit!
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Lucky 56.
They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still third down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
And the blitz does come. He finds his target, Fuller. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Will Fuller, 43 yards. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Miles Jack coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On second down, here's Taylor. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Open man is Godwin. It's complete. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They go play action with Taylor. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
319.
Second and 10, it's Taylor again. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that at just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
On third down, Taylor. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And let's shift our attention to Will Fuller. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Caught on the right side, Reed. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Gone.
Now a play fake here on first down. Open man is Switzer, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Star Latulele in on the tackle.
Early down stuffs to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Out of the gun now on third down. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. First Downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. Past the 20. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. 34 yards there at a first down.
We can talk about bend but don't break all we want, but the defense now, we're going to find out just how flexible and pliable they really are. Can they bounce back after that type of a run, that type of momentum against them, and find a way to slow down this offense?
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
All right, here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. A dump down to McKinnon. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jerick McKinnon from 8 yards out. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
Look, we all know that sometimes we see upsets in the wild card round. But I have to tell you, in this case, I did not see that coming.
I don't think anyone in the stadium saw it coming. You and I were coming in before the game. There was a couple in front of us talking about travel plans for next weekend. They might want to cancel those.
Yeah, I would say so, because right now it's looking more and more like they're going to be one and done. They're probably trying to call the hotel and make sure they get their security deposit back.
Here comes Philip Dorsett now to return it. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The throw by Taylor here, and that's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Again, now it's Taylor on 2nd and 10. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. One of his main targets, Delaney Walker, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
To throw on 3rd down, Taylor. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
It was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
The Packers defense here, they're heading back out onto the field. They are down on the scoreboard. They're just trying to keep the opposition now at bay.
Let's treat it a little bit like tennis. Hold serve. Don't give up anything. Win the point, so to speak, and move on from there.
Did you play tennis?
I actually did for a little while.
Were you any good?
Wasn't very good at it. But I tell you what, the kids, they both lettered.
Your kids?
Exactly.
Okay.
Those kids, what are we talking about?
He'll drop to throw. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Got three down. Detroit!
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Back now at Lambeau. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Down right around the 25. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Now Leonard Fournette, and running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there, and if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle, keep coming after them, put the pressure on them.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Were you as surprised as I was that they actually ran it on 2nd down there? I thought that they would go ahead and throw it in every situation here.
Yeah, they've thrown for 3 touchdown passes. Now here, I think they probably go back to the air.
Yeah, I think so. But ordinarily, 2nd down is when you run your play fake, your play action, show run, and throw the ball. Now they brought up 3rd down. They'll have to throw it anyway.
They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Here's Fournette. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This has not been a banner game for the defense, not in any shape or form, but I love what they're doing right now. My admiration for them really is jumping up. What a great stand defensively, trying their best to keep them out of the end zone.
The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal.
Detroit! Gun!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That's caught. It's Thomas. He's going to be stopped shy of the end zone. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone, and that will force a turnover on downs. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
They'll run run. This is Hunt. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And, you know, both of us gave these guys a real shot coming in here, but I don't think anyone saw this on the road with this lead in the playoffs. They've looked good a lot of times this year. This is probably as good as they've looked.
Well, it's been a textbook game for them because what you talk about as a visiting team is putting the pressure on the home team. And what puts more pressure on a home team than to be behind the entire game? Because the home crowd's there really for a coronation. They expect to win. And when you're behind, it takes the crowd out of the game. And then the crowd gets a little bit uncomfortable, maybe a little bit frustrated with the home team. And that gives you an extra advantage. So they've done it perfectly. Big lead, put everything back on the home team, and they're capitalizing on it.
Right now, that crowd, silent.
Green 39! Green 39!
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 5.
All right, here we go. 319! 319!
They'll set up to throw. Dumps it off to Fournette. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Again, it's Fournette. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
He'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a 1st down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
After the interception, here's Taylor. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop him with 13 seconds left to play. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Ready. Flag for the two. Flag for the two.
Throwing now, Taylor on first down. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Set. B-19. B-19.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Looking deep downfield. And got his man complete. The 20. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play. So it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top. You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Now the final act of this victory, the extra point. The extra point up and good, but this one was decided anyway, as that will be the final action in this ball game. Well, 1 win down, still 3 to go to get to the most hallowed ground in sports, but a good start.
A terrific start because they get to move on. Unfortunately for the team that lost, it's a long offseason ahead for them now.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Lambeau.